Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. It's good. There are some questions being asked. Aditi's question is, what is the meaning of output services exempt from GST, but cannot avail credit of input services in case of educational institutions? So what does it mean is educational institutions, they will provide the education services, right? And they do not charge GST because it is exempted. That's why we are reading this exemption chapter. So once it is exempted, then the condition says that if it is exempted, then you cannot claim the input tax credit. Okay. You cannot claim the input tax credit. That is the meaning of all exempt services, not specifically to educational institutions. Any exempt services which we provide, once you provide the exempt services, ITC cannot be claimed. Okay. So we discussed on charitable organizations, educational institutions, and agriculture services in the previous session. Today, we will proceed with other exemptions. What is meant by supply of farm labor? It's not farm labor, it is farm labor, FARM. Farm जो खेती बाड़ी करते हैं, that is called farm. So when you supply any labor who will do some plowing or other things at the agricultural land, that is called as supply of farm labor. So we completed educational services. Now we'll proceed with next exemption, which is healthcare services. There will be a kind of conflict here. Sir, can you express the importance of patience required in this course? A bit of topic. Sure, Anubhav, we'll discuss that later on. We'll start the topic now and then we'll take up other queries. So, healthcare services is kind of contrary because you see a charitable organization also we saw that some kind of this is there what some kind of healthcare services they provide. So sometimes they may provide it through a charitable organizations or sometimes through a healthcare services. So you will have to understand, and sometimes the exemption may be covered here or it can be covered there. Now, what is healthcare services? Healthcare services has been defined. So first, let us understand what is healthcare services. Why is this exemption given? Healthcare services means any service. Let me zoom it. Yeah. Healthcare services means any service by way of diagnostic, treatment, or care of any illness, injury, deformity, abnormality, or pregnancy. Okay. A healthcare service means any service by way of diagnosis, treatment, or care. So, what are these three different things? There are three different things. One is you go to a doctor, he writes an prescription and says that you do your blood test. Okay. That is a diagnostic services. So, when you go to diagnostic services, they are also healthcare services. So, healthcare doesn't mean only hospitals and doctor. It also means those diagnostic centers because those diagnostics reports will help you to evaluate your status. So diagnostic services is also covered under healthcare. Treatment, whatever treatment we get at the hospital, at the clinic, that is treatment or care of illness, injury, deformity, abnormality, or pregnancy in any recognized system of medicine, which recognized system of allopathy, yoga, naturopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha, and Unani. Okay. So these are the recognized system of medicine. Okay. The following recognized system of medicine only will be treated as a healthcare services, which means that if it is other than this, there are some services like Reiki, acupressure, Chinese medicine. These are not recognized. So only the recognized system of medicine, which is allopathy, yoga, naturopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, and Siddha and Unani. These are the recognized system of medicine. Okay, so healthcare covers all of this. So if you go to diagnostic center, if you go to your hospital, you go to your clinic, everything is covered under healthcare services. It also includes transportation of patient to and from a clinical establishment. How will the transportation happen? It will happen through a ambulance. So any ambulance service is also exempted. But one exclusion is there under healthcare. It does not include hair transplant or any cosmetic or plastic surgery. So it does not include any hair transplant or any cosmetic or plastic surgery. Now, why this will not be covered? Because this is for beautification. So if it is for beautification purpose, then you will not get the exemption. It will be taxable. But if you do such plastic surgery or do some hair transplantation to restore or rebuild the anatomy or function of the body, suppose somebody has met with an accident and his skin is completely worn out, is burnt out. So he will do a plastic surgery on the recommendation of the doctor for the reason that doctor will say, if you don't do plastic surgery, the infection will further increase. Right. So he's not doing it for beautification. He is doing it so that there will not be any further problem and it will restore his anatomy of the body. When you say restore, it could be defects, abnormality, injury, or trauma. Then it will be exempt. Okay. So this is healthcare services definition. What is Siddha and Unani? Siddha is like a traditional method of practice, like how you have Ayurveda. Similarly, you have Siddha and Unani in some parts of the country, in very remote villages. I have seen that Siddha has been practiced, where if you have any problem, they make you lie down and do give some weights. So if you have any bone problem, right, those things are treated through this Siddha and Unani. Handwritten chart was very helpful for me. Thank you for making the chapter very clear and understandable. Very good. Thank you. Perfect. So, okay, that is on healthcare services ka definition. Now, what are all the services which is exempted? Okay, healthcare services. Okay, services by way of healthcare service by a clinical establishment. Who should provide it? What is a healthcare service? That we have understood it. Now, who should provide that service? Suppose a company hai, private limited. If it provides a healthcare, will it be treated as a healthcare service, considered as exempted? May not be, because it should be a clinical establishment, which means it should be a hospital, nursing home, or laboratory where it does diagnostics or imagination, मतलब imaging. X-ray का जो image लेते हैं उसे कहते हैं imaging. So in the labs, it could be done in the nursing home or hospital. And it should be done by whom? By a authorized medical practitioner, which means not any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do it. It should be an individual practitioner. He is registered with only the council of the recognized medicine. Jaise allopathy, you have Indian Medical Organization. For Ayurveda, you have Ayush, right? They should be registered under those bodies. And medical artificial, there should be a qualification. They should have that medical qualification. And for paramedics, who are paramedics? People who do kind of nursing staff, physiotherapists, trained healthcare professionals. They are called as paramedics. So when they provide any service, that is also exempted. Doctor is also exempted, and clinical establishment is also exempted. Ambulance, of course, we have seen below, and here also specifically they've said services of ambulance is exempted. Now, hospitals, it is exempted, but this is a very important amendment. They said that if your room rent is more than 5,000 rupees per day, then it will be taxable. Because if you are providing a room and the person can afford to pay a higher room rent charges, then he can also afford to pay GST. So they've said that if the room rent is more than 5,000 rupees per day, then it will be taxable. Now, this room rent will not include ICU, CCU, ICU, ICCU, or NICU. So these are special wards or special critical care units CCU is a critical care unit. Similarly, there are other critical care units wherein they may charge because their charges will be high because there are a lot of equipment which is getting involved and under special observation. So there you should not see. But for a normal room, it could be a sharing room, a private room, or anything. There, if it is more than 5,000, then it will be taxable. Okay. Then this is important. No exemption for services provided to a clinical establishment. What does this mean? If I am a chartered accountant, I am providing the audit services for a healthcare or a clinical establishment. Will that be exempted? Apollo hospitals are clinical establishment? Yes, they are clinical establishments. No, right. So any services what we provide to a clinical establishment, there is no exemption for that. The exemption is for services provided by a clinical establishment. When a clinical establishment provides some services, that will be exempted. But my services or anybody's services, like how we saw in schools, we saw security services. There was a specific mention that security services provided to a educational institution is exempted. No such exemption is there here. So whatever services you provide to a clinical establishment, that will be taxable. Then we have seen doctors who treat human beings, but there are doctors who treat animals. So that is services by veterinary clinic. So services by a veterinary clinic in relation to healthcare of animals and birds is also exempt. Okay. Then I've striked off two things because it was exempted and now it is taxable. Okay. What is this? By cord blood banks. So you should be aware that if there's any question that a clinical establishment or an organization provides cord blood banks, right? Preservation of stem cells. So that is what is this? This is basically when a child is born, right? It has high content of stem cells in its blood when it comes out from the mother's womb. So they take it and store it and they charge something. So earlier it was exempted, but now for your examination, it will be taxable. So any payment which you make to cord blood banks will be taxable. Then operation of biomedical waste. जैसे आप in your house you'll have dustbins, but in hospitals can you throw anything just like that? It will have some syringes, it will have blood, it will have cotton, a lot of things. Can they dispose of just like that? They cannot, right? They have to have ways of separate ways of treating the waste. Okay. So they will have to dispose of in a manner which is specified. So that manner is given under the medical council's regulations. Now, every hospital cannot follow it directly. So what they do is they give it to a biomedical waste treatment facility wherein it collects all these wastes and does the relevant treatment. So this services of biomedical waste treatment was exempted, but now it is taxable. This is also striked off. Okay. Now, in relation to the healthcare, there could be various questions. So, multiple circulars have been issued to clarify whether GST is exempt or not exempt. Now, room rent to inpatients. So, when you go to a hospital, you're going for healthcare. Now, but when you stay in the hospital, will it be taxable? Because only healthcare is exempted. So, why room rent should be taxable? So room rent also should be taxable, no? Because healthcare you're going and you are staying in the hospital. So stay charges should be taxable or no? Right. Up to rupees 5,000 exempted. Correct. But what happened is, since the reason why it is exempted is it's a composite supply. You're not going there as a lodge to stay, right? You are going there and doing your healthcare services And incidentally, you have to stay. Otherwise, you don't like to stay in a hospital. So staying, it's a composite supply, right? Correct, Ms. Jaya. It's a composite supply where the primary service is healthcare services and stay is a secondary services. So that will also get exempted. If the primary service is exempted, the ancillary service also will be exempted. So stay will be exempted. So in this concept of composite supply, you have to keep in mind for all of these circulars. Then senior doctors or consultants provide services to hospitals. Hospital is raising a bill to the patient that is exempted. I understand. We all understand that. But the senior doctors raise an invoice to the hospital because they are providing the visit charges, each patient wise charge. Will that be exempted? Yes, because they are also medical practitioners and their service also is exempted. And then any amount charged by hospitals, including retention money and fees to doctors, all of that is also exempted. That is amount charged by hospitals. Now, the senior doctor will charge to the hospital, that is exempted, and hospital charging to the patient, both of that is exempted. Food to inpatients, will that be exempted? Some hospitals provide food to patients. Will it be exempted? So that limit of 5,000 to be ignored? No. 5,000 limit should not be ignored. 5,000 is the limit. When they have specifically said that above 5,000 will be taxable, it has to be taxed. Right. Food to inpatients is exempted because you're giving it only to patients who is an inpatient, not to any outpatient kind of a thing. That wherein inpatient means a person who is getting admitted only for them, and it is again a composite supply. Outside canteen, providing services to a hospital. Now, hospital cannot prepare food; it will outsource this to a outsider. This could be a caterer. Now, when that caterer raises his invoice on a monthly basis to the hospital, will that be exempted or taxable? It will be taxable, correct? Because as we had said, services provided to a thing, to a clinical establishment, even though the end thing it will be exempted, but services should be looked in independently, cannot club everything together. Services provided to a caterer to hospital is taxable. Food to unadmitted patients is also taxable because they are not admitted, and food to visitors or attenders also are taxable. Any service other than healthcare, they say hospital has a conference room, it is renting out the auditorium or a conference room or renting out shops, right? Or it has a place where it will display the advertisement of medicines, right? That is a separate activity. It is not a healthcare. They are also taxable. Then any abnormality or ailment of infertility, which is treatment of ART, such as IVF. A lot of people are now undergoing through this that they are not able to get delivery. So there are these IVF centers which help him. So that is also confirmed and clarified that that is also exempt service. Okay. So that is on the healthcare services. So the first point in circular is less than 5,000. Yes, that is less than 5,000. ठीक है. So healthcare services is all covered here. Now I've given kind of notes of what it is mentioned in the text, so you can refer them. But if there's any circular, I will tell you. Services by rehabilitation professionals. Okay, cord blood banks is now taxable. Healthcare services has been defined. Now, GST on services in form of assisted reproductive technology or in vitro fertilization will be exempted. The abnormality or disease or ailment of infertility is treated using such ART procedure, so it will be exempted. It is now clarified that the services by way of IVF are also covered under the definition of healthcare. Charitable hospitals are exempted, yes, because they are providing healthcare, so they will be exempted. Now, if a charitable organization, we have that condition of 12 double A or AB. Now, if a charitable hospital does not have 12 double A or 12 AB, then will it be exempted or no? Oh, Anubhav is saying no, no. Okay. So as I said that, yes, Khushbu, do you want to talk something? You can unmute yourself. Okay. Maybe it's a mistake then. So in healthcare services, did you find any place that it should be a 12 double A or 12 AB entity? It just says that it should be a hospital. So then why is there a question of 12 double A or AB? As I said, there'll be conflicting things. So you don't have to get confused. If it is getting exempted under this services, under healthcare services, then it can enjoy the healthcare services exemption. No problem at all. Okay. Even if it is not registered under 12 double A, then it will still be exempted because the nature of service is exempted services. Yeah, Mustafa, whatever is changes, you will get it in the statutory update that you may have to refer. Okay. Can we go to the next exemption service? So healthcare, you understood that if it is a organization, still, if it is a charitable organization, still they will get the exemption, irrespective of whether they've satisfied the conditions or not. Next is government services. Services by government. Services by government. Governments provide a lot of services, either directly or indirectly. So, services by government, is it exempted or taxable? It says that the government can provide, it has various organizations, right? Government cannot function independently. It will function through various companies. It will function through various uh, it's called societies or various bodies. It will do the function. So any government services, when pure services, right? Like you're providing any services to a government. If it is pure services, it is not involving goods. Or if it is composite, where goods also are involved, but the value of goods is less than 25%, then you are providing services to government that will be exempted. Okay. So any pure services in or composite, where if it is involvement of goods, it can be a composite services, but the value of goods should not be more than 25%. Then it is exempted. Okay. Now this services you can provide to central government, state government, local authority, or union territory. This we understood that pure services provided from by an individual or a company or anybody to the government is exempted. But what is this? Services by one central government to another central government, inter-government services. That is when you provide services from one government authority. CG means central government, SG means state government, LA means local authority, and UT means union territory. Okay. So when a central government provides services to another central government or to a state government or to a local authority in any combination between the government to another government, any services it's providing, it is exempted. Because even if they collect taxes, it will go back to the government. So let's say they have exempted this. Okay. And GA and GE means government authority or government enterprises. Right. Now, again, here, what are the services that you are providing some pure services to the government? You don't have to pay GST. And if you're providing composite supply where the value of goods is less than 25%, you don't have to charge GST. Then Now, what all exemptions, apart from exemption notification, we've seen that under the supply definition itself, there is an exemption. If you read section 7, subsection 2, clause B, from the supply definition itself is removed that any government services where the government is involved as a public authority, then it is not a supply. When the government is engaged as a public authority, then it is not a supply. What are those circumstances? Those are the circumstances which is article activities which are carried out under Article 243G and Article 243W. What is this article? Where will you find the article? Articles are there in the Constitution of India. Okay. So in the GST law, they've said that any authority which is providing any activities under 243G and 243W will be exempted. What is 243G and what is 243W? 243G means any panchayat services, where in certain towns and villages, you will have some panchayat raj, where they undertake all the services equivalent to a municipal authority. Okay, like if you're in Bangalore, you will have a Bangalore Brahat Mahanagara Palike. It's called a BBMP. In Delhi or Mumbai, you will have Greater Mumbai. Like that, there are authorities who are municipal authorities. So those services by those municipal authorities and municipal authorities is covered under 243W and panchayat services are covered under 243G. Okay. Now that services will be exempted. Okay. Government authority and government entity means that we will see differently what is the definition. But here we have to understand 243G and 243W services will be exempted. And supply of alcoholic liquor license. Alcoholic liquor, is it taxable or exempted? Now it's Greater Bangalore Authority, right, Linga? Exempt. Oh, supply of alcoholic liquor के ऊपर government wants everybody to drink lot and no taxable. मतलब कितना भी दारू पियो टैक्स नहीं भरना पड़ेगा. So that's why do you think country will prosper with lot of people drinking in? Right. Mustafa has answered correctly that it is not inside the purview of GST. So what is it under then? It is definitely, yes, everybody is given a consent that it is not taxable under GST. Then it is taxable under what? Somewhere it is taxable or was free. Right. State excise duty will be applicable and VAT will be applicable on this. So on supply of alcoholic liquor, VAT and state excise is applicable. So it is not that any person who drinks, he will not contribute to the government. He contributes most because the rate of tax also is high. Okay. So it is outside the GST, but it is not exempted elsewhere. It is taxable under the state excise laws. So, and CST is applicable. So when a supply of alcoholic liquor happens, it is outside the GST. But to get that license, if you have to sell the alcoholic liquor, you have to get a license from the government. Now the question came in, since the alcoholic liquor is outside GST, this should be taxable. That is the license which has been given by the government. They have to give license and they have to pay. Right? So will that be exempted or taxable? There it is said that through clarification that alcoholic liquor license, when you're giving, that will be no GST on that. So there will not be any burden on it. So that is the clarification which is gotten. Okay. So this is the first part. Second, Department of Post were exempted under forward charge, exempt, sab kuch tha. Now it is all striked off. So Department of Post providing services to government, non-government, everybody or anybody, it will be taxable. Okay. Then government services could be in terms of providing any port or airport services. Now, what they provide in terms of port or airport services, they provide aircraft, vessel. In the ports, the airports we see, they are all owned by the government. Okay. Now, for maintenance purposes, they give it off as a contract basis to some companies, but primarily it belongs to the government itself. So, ports and airports, they provide services. They collect some charges when you book a ticket, right? So that is chargeable. So government providing inside or outside any services, either collecting from the passenger or collecting from the airlines companies, it is taxable under GST, no exemption. Now, what all things it will correct? It will correct the air traffic control. It will collect flight hauling, मतलब जो रुकेगा वहाँ पे. Then rent from stores. All of this, whatever it collects, it is taxable under forward charge. Okay. So ports, airports are taxable. Then transportation services. Government providing any transportation services of goods or passengers. Matlab, either buses services what they provide or they provide any transportation of goods. Then it is also taxable under forward charge mechanism subject to transportation exemption. So that we'll see if there is any exemption under transportation category. If there is no exemption there, then it will be taxable. So transportation services will be taxable under forward charge. Why FCM, RCM I mentioned? You know RCM and FCM, right? You've understood the FCM and RCM provisions. When the supplier pays the tax and collects it from his customer, that is a forward charge mechanism. And when the recipient pays the tax, it is a reverse charge mechanism. So all of these supplies will be under forward charge. Why distinction I mentioned? Because some services will see that it is taxable under reverse charge also. So opposite of reverse charge is forward charge. That is the normal tax. When you sell something, a person who sells something, he collects it. That is called as a forward charge. And the person who sells, he does not pay, but the receiver will pay. That is called as reverse charge. Then renting of immovable property. When the government gives any properties, like you have some shops, some kind of centers, right? Wherein government will give off the shops for rent. Now, if this rent is charged to a registered person, then the registered person will have to pay. But if it is to an unregistered person, right, that he's not registered, then the government will pay in the forward charge mechanism. Okay, that is on renting of immovable property. If it is RP, which means he's a registered person, he will pay under RCM. If it is a URP, government will pay under forward charge mechanism. Next is all other services. Apart from these specific services, if there's any services which is provided by the government to a business entity, then GST will be under RCM because government will not pay. So you will have to pay under reverse charge mechanism. Any services which you're receiving from the government, you will have to pay under reverse charge mechanism. Exemption is available. You have to understand this carefully. Various drop downs are there. If your annual turnover in the previous year, okay, is less than the registration limit, that is your annual turnover of the previous financial year, not current financial year, in the previous year is less than the registration limit. That is for goods, it is 40 lakhs, and for services, it is 20 lakhs. But for certain states, it is less. So wherever the limit, your turnover is below this, then it is exempted. And if your annual turnover in the previous year is exceeding the registration limit, right? And it is a non-government entity, that the receiver is a non-government entity, then again you get another exemption. If the value is less than 5,000, then no GST. If the value is more than 5,000, then you will pay under reverse charge. And if the providing services to another government, like we have seen from one government to another government, say police provide services to MLA or judges, right? Some security services, and they will collect from the judges, from the courts. So that will be exempted. Too much to grab it, or we went very slow, so you were able to understand it, hopefully. Here on government services, most of the government services is under reverse charge only. No confusion there. Some services will be under a forward charge. That you have to analyze. Written services, government services, there are special services which will be taxable, that is guaranteeing loans to government undertaking. All of this is special services which will be exempted. All of this is exempt. All of this is exempted criteria. You will understand, right? Sure. So all of these special services are exempted. First is guaranteeing loans to government undertaking or public sector undertaking. Now, government undertaking, take for an example, National Highway Authority of India. They want to take some loans from the banks because government funding is there, but they want to take loans from the banks or from any financial institution. Now that financial institution is coming saying that, how can I give you loan to you? You give me a guarantee. Okay. Now get a guarantee from your government, from the directly from your higher up. So when they give any guarantee, okay, and they will charge saying that I'm giving you guarantee, that's why you're getting a loan. So I will charge you some consideration, say 5% of the loan amount, 1% or something like that. So when they charge guarantee charges, that is exempt. Okay. When is this exempted? Only when it is providing guarantee loans to government undertaking and public sector undertakings only. Okay. Then registration services required under law, like under the Karnataka shops and commercial establishments, or under the food and safety standards of India. When you apply for registration, you have to pay some registration fees. Okay, the official registration fees you have to pay. That is also exempted, not taxable. Then any kind of a testing, calibration, or certification services, like you have government labs, they do testing, calibration, and certification. That is also exempted. The other services, which is the passport, the visa, driving license, birth or death certificate, that is also exempted. Tolerating non-performance of a contract. This is again, all of this is given through a circular wherein they've said that if the government is tolerating non-performance and it collects for that non-performance, so it gave a contract to somebody. Now that person has not completed the work. They gave him a road project and he did not complete the work. Now he will pay some compensation, saying that I have not completed on time. So why the government will tolerate it? Because it is getting some consideration. Otherwise, whatever is the project, it is supposed to get completed. Now it has not got it completed, so it will collect some liquidated damages or fines. Now such fines or liquidated damages also exempted. Then assignment of right to use natural resources, wherein you are having a individual farmer, you are having a thing, and you have a land and you have got a assignment of right to use the natural resources. Very rare case it happens, but some places it happens. That is also exempted. Then deputing officers after office hours, say a inspection or container stuffing in the airport or the customs port, it happens that officers are appointed after office hours and they've charged, right? Because the authority will have to charge them. So that charges is also exempted. Excess royalty collection contractor in case of coal mines or other mines, wherein they you collect the resources, you collect the natural resources, and there what happens is excess royalty collection contractors are appointed to collect the royalty on behalf of the government, because government cannot sit, so it will appoint a collection contractor. Such contractor will collect the amount and pay to the government, and they will charge the fees. So such fees are also exempted. Services of rehabilitation professionals, this we have seen, since it is related to government, I'm putting it here again. Services of rehabilitation professionals to rehabilitation centers, which is run by the government, is also exempted. Then old age home, where the consideration is up to 25,000 per month, which is run by government, is also exempt. Clear on the government services? So you will have to kind of interact. You have to ask questions. Some people are raising the hand but not talking. if you can make it little interactive, if you've not understood, because this was a lot of services. So if you could ask any queries, clarify, that will be very helpful. Government services is little lengthy, but part by part, if you read, as I had divided it, part by part, if you read, you will get it. Once again, which one, Anubhav?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, actually, I have a question that for the exemptions, where I can download the notes for this chapter.
Okay.
So, sir,
So
actually,
you
I can read your previous notes, which was batch 4 GST notes, which you have uh, taught us in February.
right. And any
So, sir, is there?
amendments is there, you can have a look at it.
So, sir, we have to. I have to cover amendments.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Expenses by election commission, like advertisements in news, TV would be exempted. Yeah, because election commission is providing the services to another government and it is pure service, it will be exempted. Assignment of right to use natural resources. Right. So what happens in case of assignment of natural resources is you're giving them a right to use natural resources, right? On that, royalty and things will be there. But if you're providing the right to non-company, if you're providing to a company, it will be taxable. But if you're providing the right to an individual farmer, then it will be exempt. What is ATO? ATO means annual turnover. If the annual turnover in the previous year is less than the limit, that is called annual turnover. Service of maintenance of street lines in municipal area involving replacement of defect lines and other space along with maintenance. Right. So this is pure service wherein the municipality will appoint a contractor and they will do the maintenance of street lights. Right. So it is pure service. Of course, when some kind of replacement is required, they'll buy the light and other things, but that will be very less. It will be less than 25,000, less than 25%. So that will be exempted. Yeah, Mr. M.R. Prasad, these lectures are good to understand, and you will have a problem solving session also specifically dedicated because we can't take problem solving now because our problems may be possible, but if you get a holistic thing, so that's the reason what we do is we teach all the chapters, and after that, once you have understood the basics of all these chapters, then we will go to problem solving so that all the chapters points will get covered in that. Those small sessions enough? Not actually. So being frankly with you, those are not enough. You will have to do a practice. So whatever uh, thing we are imparting, that is only 40%. 60% is your efforts. You will have to put efforts. You have to read through. Then only it is possible. Where RCM and FCM we see in real life, see various places, Aditya, that if you're taking any providing a chartered accountant or a engineer provide some services, he will collect GST. So that is forward charge. Now this consultant or professional takes the services of a lawyer, advocate. Okay. In that case, he will pay the reverse charge mechanism. I hope that RCM and FCM is covered. In the previous chapters, it is covered. Kindly have a look at it. Yeah, May 2026, it will be available. Amendments will be there, and then you will have also have a separate thing which will be uploaded on the website called statutory updates. Please refer that also, because after the book has been published, any amendments notification which is coming, which will be relevant for you. So you will have to cover that also. Okay. So that was on government services. Moving forward, government services have like kind of texted it here so that you can read it. Yeah, one thing is on service of grants. So if a government gives grants, then also it is exempted. Okay. When a government supply of service by a government entity to central government, state government, union territory, local authority, or any person which is specified by central government or state government or union territory. So generally what happens is when you get any grants, you would have understood the uh, chapter on valuation, correct? So valuation, you will see that if you get any grants, okay, it will be taxable because it is not received from the supplier. So if you have to supply something and say the value is for a bags, you have to supply bags to a school and the value of the bags is say 500 rupees. The government school says that no, no, we cannot afford this. We will pay you only 300 rupees. But the supplier is saying no, no, I cannot sell you at 300 rupees. So then they will find out some NGO which will fund the differential amount. So the supplier will get 200 rupees from the NGO and 300 from the school. So this, the value of the bag is how much? 500 rupees. 300 I've collected from the school and 200 I've collected from the NGO. So what is the value of supply on which I have to charge GST? Right. I have to charge. Oh, Savia Khan is saying 200 one. Why? Because 300 rupees you have got from government, the government school. Will you not pay GST on that? 500 only. Okay. So we need answers. The correct answer is 500 only because 200, 300 rupees you've got from the school and 200 rupees you've got it from the NGO. So your supply value is 500 rupees only. But now this grants, if you are not getting from a NGO, but it is coming from the government directly, then what will be the value? So first scenario is you're getting grant from the NGO, which is not a government NGO. It's just a government, just a non-government organization, non-profit organization. Now, instead of finding a NGO, the government says, I will only pay you the differential. I will pay you 200 rupees for each bag. Then will it be, what will be the value? Then it will be 300 rupees per bag. Yes, because there is an exemption which says that supply of service by the government entity to central government, state government, local authority, or any person which is specified by the central government, state government, or local authority against consideration received in the form of grants. So any grants what you will receive will be exempted. That is also covered under valuation and it's also getting covered here. Yeah, somebody was asking what is the tolerance of an act. So if a construction was given, a contract was given, but you do not fulfill it or you do not complete it within the time, right? Then what happens? You are tolerating the time because you can either cancel the contract and say him that refund my money back because I've given you a timeline and you have not done it on time. So they can say that. you refund my money back and we'll cancel the contract. But government will say that no, I will tolerate your delay. For tolerating that delay, what consideration he's getting it, that is what is called as tolerating of an act. If Public Works Department awards contract to a contractor for road construction or state highway, then same will be exempted. Yes, infrastructure products or projects, if you see that they are exempted. This is all what we had discussed. Amendment. So new amendments which has happened, which is relevant for you, is services provided by Ministry of Railways to individuals by way of sale of platform tickets, facility of retiring rooms. At the platform, they provide all of these services. Facility of retiring rooms, clock room services, battery operated car, all of this is exempted. Okay, so earlier it was taxable. Now they have amended and introduced these exemptions that government will not pay the GST. Like earlier, you used to pay 5 rupees or 10 rupees, sorry, for the platform ticket. Even now, you're paying 5%. Now, even now, you are paying 10 rupees. So earlier, government used to get, the railways used to get only, say, 9 rupees and 1 rupee they used to pay as taxes. Now, full 10 rupees will go to them. For the end customer, it will not impact. But as a taxation, the government will get less taxes on it. Okay. Then facility of retiring rooms, waiting rooms. If you go to the railway station, you'll have to wait. And you take the service of a waiting rooms and they charge, right? If it's a normal room, they don't charge. For other rooms, they charge it. Say a AC room or these first class rooms, they will charge. So that is also exempted. Clock room services where you keep your luggages and go outside and come back. That is clock room services. Then battery operated car services. When now you would see the lot of railway stations, lifts and things are there, but battery operated cars also are there, which they collect some specified charges. That is also exempted. Then services provided by one zone or division under the Ministry of Railways to another zone or division, South zone, Southeast, North, each of this, they have separate zones. So any kind of cross charge or from one zone or one division to another zone or division is also exempted. Let's go now to construction services. Construction services is very simple. I would say there's not much of content here. Where the services, somebody was asking me to show the healthcare services slide. Show it. You wanted to have a look at healthcare services slide. Yeah. Let me know if you have gone through it. Fine. Now we'll go to construction services. Construction services means any services which is provided by a various construction. It can happen, right? Now we are look at the construction of residential houses. That is what we will look at here. That services provided by way of pure labor contracts. Pure labor contracts, if it is involved, not labor and goods. When labor and goods are involved, it is called as a works contract. Okay, we are not talking about works contract. Here, the exemption is talking on pure labor contracts, where all contracts will be exempted. No, any kind of a construction, erection, commissioning, installation, completion, fitting out, repairs, maintenance, renovation, alteration, or any other original works where it is pertaining to beneficiary-led individual house construction or enhancement under Housing for All Mission or Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So these are the schemes which are floated by government that who does not have house, for them they will have this mission wherein they will do the construction and supply the house to the needy people. PMAY, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or Housing for All Mission. So when such construction is happening and they appoint a contractor, right? Because construction should happen through a contractor. So such construction which is happening through a contractor, that will be exempted because the pricing should not get increased. That's the reason they said that to beneficiary-led individual construction or enhancement, it will be exempted. Okay. Then, so only two government schemes, only these two government schemes, not all. Housing for All Mission and PMAY, it will be exempted. Then, if there is any construction, erection, commissioning, installation of an original works pertaining to a single residential unit, which means what? Now, when you buy a house, you can buy an apartment. Will apartment be exempted? No. Apartments are taxable. The rate will be less, but still it is taxable. But if you don't use the apartment facility, but you use a single residential unit, okay, you just opt for a single residential unit and construct it, then on any construction, erection, commissioning, or installation, only these four services will be exempted. Okay, so construction, erection, commissioning, or installation, CECI. These four services, if it is for pertaining to a single residential unit, it will be exempted. Now, this is a little tricky. Supply of TDR, FSI, long-term lease of land by landowner to a developer. Now, what is this TDR? TDR means a transferable development right, and FSI means floor space index. Please note it down. TDR means transferable development rights, and FSI means floor space index. And long-term leases, you're giving a land, you're getting lease for that. So any TDR, FSI, or long-term lease, which is provided. You know, what is TDR? Transferable development right means there was a landowner. His land got acquired by the government. Okay. So government said we'll compensate you and we will give you something more because we have to do a kind of construction activity at your premises and we have to do a compulsory acquisition. So they will compensate him by giving the money and they will also give him a transferable development right or a floor space index. Then every landowner will get that benefit because he wanted to construct. Now government has said that no, I want to construct some metro or some railways here. So you have to, I will acquire your land. So he's got that TDR or FSI. Now he has another land. Now when he gives this another land to a developer for construction, right? Then he will kind of sell this TDR to the developer. What is the advantage of this TDR? That if the government has given him permission to construct 10 floors, okay, he can construct only 10 floors. But by buying this TDR, he can construct whatever is the extra floor space mentioned in the TDR. So in the TDR, if it is mentioned 2 floors, you can construct. So he can construct 2 more floors, 10 plus 2, 12 floors he can consider. Okay. So any TDR, which is or FSI, in few cities it called as TDR, few places it's called as FSI. So any kind of supply of TDR or FSI of land by the landowner to a developer, will it be exempt? Yes, it will be exempted. The condition is constructed flats are sold before issuance of completion certificate. That whatever you are supplying, you will supply, it will be exempted. But the condition is that the builder should sell all the apartments before issuance of a completion certificate. What is completion certificate? Completion certificate means it's a letter which is given by the government saying that yes, you have constructed it properly and you can give it off to the tenants and you are ready for occupation. Okay. So before that certificate comes, you should have sold all the flats. If he doesn't, say for some reason he's only able to say 80% and 20% is unsold, then the exemption will be withdrawn to the extent of flats are sold after completion certificate. So as on the completion certificate, 80% is sold in our example and 20% is unsold. So on that 20%, which is unsold, he will have to pay the GST under reverse charge. Who will pay? The developer. The developer is the one who's bought the TDR. The landowner is not registered. So GST will be paid under reverse charge by the developer. Now, what rate he will pay? If it is affordable housing, it will pay 1%. If it is normal housing, then he'll pay 5%. Okay. So, little complicated, but I hope you have understood that any TDR which is received, if you are selling all the apartments before issuance of completion certificate, then it is completely exempted. But if you sell anything after the completion certificate, on that flats which is sold after completion certificate, you have to pay the GST on that proportion. You have to do a proportion calculation. Okay. I hope you have all understood TDR and FSI. Okay. Next is in terms of this construction service itself, where it is services supplied by electricity distribution utilities by way of construction, erection, commissioning, or installation of infrastructure for extending electricity distributor network up to the tube well of the farmer or agriculturist for agriculture use. So the government is laying down some electricity distribution and it will lay out a particular blueprint, it will lay out and it will tell that we will lay some electricity wires. Now the farmer says that you are extending this line, but I need the electricity on my land also. So you extend your electricity distribution to my land also. So you have to extend the electricity distribution network up to my tube well. Tube well means where it's a well, you have to extract the water. So if there is electricity, it will help me. So for this deviation from the normal blueprint, the government will charge something from the farmer saying that I have to do this deviation, so I have to charge you a government fees. So this deviation for which the tube well is getting constructed on the farmer's place, it will be exempted. Okay. So these are the services on construction services. TDR FSI is confusing. Okay. So what if you can raise your thing? What is confusing if you could specifically ask? Okay. Once again, TDR and FSI. Okay. Now for construction of a apartment by a company, it will require additional floor construction because if it doesn't do the additional construction, then it will be under loss. If it sells more, it will be profitable. So to sell or construct additional floors, it does not have permission. So the government is saying that such builders who does not have permissions, they can buy transferable development rights and FSI from the landowners. Generally, TDRs and FSIs will be available with many landowners. These landowners will not construct anything, so they can sell this TDRs and FSI. So this sale, what the landowner does, it will be exempted because as on the date of giving the TDR, you don't know how many apartments will get constructed and how many apartments will be sold. Okay, so they're exempted at the initial stage. Later on, at the time of completion, because government has to get revenue. So if any apartments are sold before completion certificate, it is liable to GST. After completion certificate, the government saying that it is an immovable property, so you cannot charge GST. So we know that under Schedule 3, immovable property is not liable to GST. So when an apartment is under construction, it is liable to GST. After construction, it is not. So how do you distinguish what is construction and what is under construction or what is completion certificate or completion of the construction? So for that, they have set up a thumb rule saying that completion certificate. Completion certificate means a certificate which is given by the government, generally municipal party or electricity board or somebody like that. They will say, okay, we have done the inspection and your construction is complete, ready for occupancy. You can come and stay here. So up till that point of time, whatever apartments I'm selling, I will collect the GST and pay to the government. Government is happy. And the FSI, which has been given from the landowner to the developer, is exempted. Say 100 flats I have to construct. I have constructed and sold everything, right? And I've paid the GST. So this TDR and FSI will be exempted. But out of this 100 flats, that's the first scenario that I have sold everything before itself, right? And I've given taxes to the government. So no problem at all. But government says that on the completion certificate, you have sold only 80 and you have given me taxes only on 80. On the balance 20, you have not given the taxes because it will be treated as a immovable property and Schedule 3 will exempt it. So on that unsold things, you do the proportionate calculation and pay the GST and the reverse charge mechanism. Okay. That is the concept of TDR and FSI. Under PMAY and housing, so it's a government project. So government says that PMAY and housing for all schemes, housing for all schemes given. So there we are already giving benefit and the end customer should not be burdened. So any construction activity which is carried out for this government scheme will be exempt. You want to go to the next service? That is too heavy and you want to take a break now. Too early for today. Okay. We'll take a quick break. We'll not spend too much of time. It is 7:10 now. By 7:15 we'll come because I will have to take classes only till 7:45 and then Board of Studies faculties will take you through various MCQs and FAQs. Okay. So we'll take a break of 10 minutes. Yes, sir. which is transportation services. Now you'll have two kinds of transportation. When you say transportation, there'll be two transportation. One is transportation of goods and transportation of passengers. So there is different exemption for transportation of goods and there is a different exemption for passenger transport services. What is passenger transport services? When you travel in a bus or railway, air or water, right? In water you can travel, right? You have backwaters, you have waters, which is boat is used like a normal commuting only. In Kerala, if you see, school children also go in a boat only. I was shocked to see that because it's all in the backwaters. It's all the island kind of a thing. From one place to another place you have to go. You cannot use the land. You will have to use the waterways. Okay, like how bus, there is a conductor who will collect the thing. If similarly in water also, there will be a conductor, he'll collect charges from you. Okay. So that is how the transportation is divided. Transportation of passengers and transportation of goods. Now, air transport. If you can travel by flight, uh, do you need any exemption? You don't need any exemption, right? Because you can afford the flight tickets, you can afford the airport charges and everything. I'm not saying you in specific, anybody in generally, where a person can afford the air travel, then he can afford the GST also. So air travel, whether domestic or economy or business class, both of it is taxable. Okay. But some places that airport has to get developed. A lot of people have to travel it. That's why what they have said is embarking from or terminating. If you book a flight from your place to this place, or you travel back from that place to your place, then it will be exempted. Why? Because these are specifically northeast regions. Northeast regions need a lot of support. So if there the prices will be less, you will travel it. So how do you remember these ones? It is called Bagdogra, which is in West Bengal, Arunachal Pradesh, Tripura, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Assam, Nagaland, and Sikkim. Okay. Will you be remembering this? Might be difficult. That's why I've arranged it in an order wherein you can remember a term called Batmans. Batmans. So if you call it as Batmans, from the Batmans, you will understand that these are the cities where you travel to or book a flight from there will be exempted. Okay. It's not that the air agent sitting there, if he books it, it will be exempted. Any agent, say from Bangalore, I'm going to Tripura. So it will be exempted. So agent is, say in some other place also, where you are embarking or terminating in these cities, then it will be exempted. Okay. Then if it is a road transport, okay. If it is a road transport, just a moment. So we're saying that anybody taking a flight or landing at these places will be exempted. Okay, that is on air. Only these places will be exempted. Otherwise, everything will be taxable. Then, in case of road, you have three types of transportation of passengers, which one is contract carriage, one is stage carriage, and other is metered cabs. Means what? Contract carriage, wherein you can move from one place to another place based on a contract. Okay. You will book a bus and you will tell him that this is the route I want to go. He will go it. Okay. So if it is that contract carriage wherein it is you are deciding where you have to go and where you have to come, that is if it is traveling in a non-AC bus. These are all bus or tractors or tempos or things like that. So if it is a non-AC travel, it is exempted. If it is a AC travel, the bus or the Metador or Mini Door has a AC in it, or a radio taxi, or a tourism conducted tour. So radio taxi, it could be both AC and non-AC. So non-AC is generally for contract carriage, but radio taxi, like if you book Uber and Ola, it is all taxable, whether AC or non-AC. Then tourism, for tourism purposes, if you're booking a cab, bus or something, it is taxable. If it is for conducted tour or charter or hire, all of this is taxable. So what is only exempted? So non-AC travel is only exempted. Everything else is taxable. Clear? Next is stage carriage, wherein you board a bus, you cannot decide where you have to get out. Wherever the bus stops, there only you can get out, like intra-state buses or interstate buses. Within the state also, you have stages. That is, from one stop to another stop, the bus will stop. So this includes those local buses, or from one city to another city, from one state to another state also, you can travel. That is a stage carriage. So if again, same here, if it is non-AC, that it is exempted. If it is a AC transportation, then it is taxable. Next is metered cabs, auto rickshaws and e-rickshaws. Okay. What is this metered cabs? Generally, I've seen this in Bombay, Lal Pili. Kali Pili, wherein you find the taxi which they do a metered cab, and it is not a radio taxi, right? It is a metered cab. So that metered cab will be exempted. Auto rickshaws will be exempted. E-rickshaws will be exempted. But if you book it, these things through a app, then the app will pay GST. Okay. But if you book it directly from them, they don't have to pay GST. And even in case of reverse charge mechanism, that if you're booking it through a Uber or Ola, the tax liability will not be on these cab drivers. It will be on the aggregator. मतलब जो aggregate करता है buyer, service provider or service receiver को, that person will pay the GST. So metered cabs, auto rickshaws and e-rickshaws, if you book it directly, पकड़ के हाथ डालोगे, वो रुकेगा, he will tell whether he will come or no, and you will sit and go. Auto rickshaws, e-rickshaws, metered cabs, these three are exempted. Non-AC is taxable if it is supplied through e-commerce. That is what I'm saying, that metered cabs, auto rickshaws, अगर आप Ola, Uber के through करते हो, then it will be taxable. Fine. Another thing, yeah. Air transportation, we have understood. Road transportation, we have understood. Next, how will you travel? You will travel through roads, through railways. So railways, metro, monorail, and tramway, it is all exempted. Metro में तो AC है, luxury है, फिर क्यों exempted है? Still it is exempted because metro they want to encourage, they don't want to increase the prices. That's why metro, monorail, and tramway are exempted. And if you travel through railways, IRCTC जब आप travel करते हो, non-AC it is exempted. AC and first class it is taxable. Non-AC again here it is exempted. First class and AC will be taxable. Then waterways. This I told, some waterways, some places you will use the waterways for public transport. You're traveling from one place to another, like a bus. It's called a public transport. So such public transport is exempted. If you use a vessel like backwaters, you will stay inside that in the boat, and it will take you through the place for 1 day or 2 days. It's for tourism purpose. Then it is taxable. And transportation outside India, that is also taxable. Okay. That is if you're traveling through a sea. But if you're traveling in a inland waterways, then means that this is a sea. This one is a sea. Vessel is a sea. But this one is inland waterways. It's exempted except for tourism or public transportation. Inland will be exempted for everybody. So inland waterways they want to encourage. So inland waterways ke upar no GST will be charged. Okay. So that was on passenger transport services of air, road, rail, and water. Now, one more thing is these places or some places they will give some liability gap funding, viability gap funding, wherein the government wants the airports to come up in new areas, and they will want to connect various cities. Right. Apart from this Batmans, there are other places also wherein the government will give viability gap funding. Now that funding is exempted. Now, up till what years it will be exempted? 3 years from the commencement of operation. After that, it will all be taxable. Starting के लिए encouragement करने के लिए देते हैं, so that will be exempted. After 3 years, then I will charge GST on that viability gap funding. Whatever funding you're receiving from the government, that will be taxable. Okay. So that is on passenger transport service. Any doubts here before we move to goods transportation? Clear, very nice. Okay. So passenger transport, we understood. Now we'll go to goods transportation, transportation of goods. They say you have to send parcels from one place to another place, right? You have to send other things also from one place to another place. Will it be taxable or exempted? There is simply called as transportation through courier, right? You have to send some post, send some parcel, you will send it through a courier agency. Courier agencies will pick it up and they will charge it. So through a courier agency, if you do something, it is straight away taxable. Any value, even if it is 10 rupees, it will be taxable. Okay. So courier service, where the courier transports through a road, it will be taxable. Other than courier, other than couriers, you can have individual trucks. That is, you have a lot of containers and you want to appoint a full truck to transport the goods to your vendors or to your customers. Okay. In a factory case scenario, you will have to transport it. So in that case, if there is an individual truck you are appointing or a cart, hath gadi, bullock cart, dale gadi, individual trucks, cart and bullock cart are exempted. बिकॉज इंडिविजुअल ट्रक्स क्या होता है, वो एक ही ट्रक चलाता है, उसके पास इतना ये नहीं होता है कि वो ही इज नॉट अ गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट एजेंसी. गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट एजेंसी होता है तो फिर अलग बात होती है, बट इफ इट्स नॉट अ गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट एजेंसी, इज इंडिविजुअल ट्रक ओनर, then you don't have to pay GST on that. Neither forward charge, neither reverse charge. Okay. So individual trucks, cart and bullock cart is exempted. And if it is through a GTA, goods transport agency, in the charging section, you would have understood it in clear, in detailed manner that some taxes, what is paid on the GTA service, few are under reverse charge, few are under forward charge. Okay. When the supplier wants to pay GST, he can claim the credit and he can charge it. But if he doesn't want to pay, then he will tell that I will only give you a consignment note and he will not collect GST, and the receiver will have to pay GST under reverse charge mechanism at what percentage? Speed post is taxable? Yes. Speed post, everything is taxable. Speed post, registered post, sub taxable. Yeah, Abhilasha has given a correct answer on the GTA rate. Kuldeep is given wrong answer. He's saying 1%. Nahi, there's no 1% rate for a GTA. 1% is available only for a construction service. Others, what is the rate of GTA under reverse charge mechanism? Shamli Sharma, correct. Savia Khan is wrong. He's saying two rates. In the reverse charge, there's only one rate. Correct. Jaya is correct. If you have to pay under forward charge, if the GTA has to pay it, he has an option of two rates, that is 12% and 5%. But if you're a receiver and you have to pay GST, then it is always 5%. Right. So reverse charge is always 5%. You don't have option of 12% alone. Reverse charge is always 5%. RCM study reference you study there, then you will understand this better. If the RCM is to an unregistered person, if the GTA provides services to an unregistered person, then it will be exempted. ओके बिकॉज अनरजिस्टर्ड पर्सन के लिए ही विल नॉट चार्ज मतलब अगर आप घर शिफ्टिंग के लिए एक जीटीए को अपॉइंट करते हो तो फिर आपको जीएसटी पे करने की जरूरत नहीं है बिकॉज यू आर अनरजिस्टर्ड फॉर दैट सर्विस देन GTA we understood RCM FCM रहेगा and if through a GTA if you are transporting any random goods what is random goods just which be goods no random goods doesn't mean the actual random it's a nomenclature for these goods R stands for relief materials A stands for agriculture procure जो agriculturist बेचता है मार्केट में मंडी में लेके आके बेचता है just how we have seen in APMC yard in the exemption of agricultural exemptions so if he is transporting goods of agricultural produce, it is exempted. Relief materials is exempted. Newspapers and magazines are exempted. Defense and military equipments are also exempted. Organic manure and M stands for various things. It is all household goods that are put into one category. Milk, salt, food grains, flour, pulses, and rice. Rice again, why? Because agriculture produce does not consider rice. So it's a separate category. So if these goods are being transported through a GTA, it is exempted. Random goods याद करने के लिए easy रहेगा. Other goods other than random goods, it is taxable. Okay. Earlier there was limitation of 1,500 per consignment value, 750 rupees per consignment value. That is gone. That's why I have striked it. Newspaper is exempt. Yes, newspaper is exempt, and the transportation of newspaper also is exempt. Newspaper is not in the purview of GST. Okay. Those is on road transportation, courier taxable. On case of GTA, taxable or exempt. Individual trucks, cart to the cart will be exempted. But TV broadcasts are not exempt. TV broadcasts are not exempted because TV broadcast, you're collecting a lot of broadcasting charges. Newspaper is one wherein the price has to be at a lower rate. जैसे 3 rupees, 5 rupees है उसके ऊपर आप GST लगा लोगे तो फिर paper already they are collecting less. Of course, they get revenue through advertisements. That will be taxable. But the newspaper, what you are buying, that is exempt. Next is railways. Railways, if you transport the goods, transportation of passengers, वहां पे हमने segregate कर दिया है AC, non-AC. But यहाँ पे, if you are transporting anything through railways, then it will be taxable. Except same random goods and railway equipments and materials. Railway will transport from one place to another when it is finishing the coach which is getting completed. Coach मतलब बोगी जो बनाते हैं वो एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में भेजते हैं, right? All of that they will charge something that is also exempted. Random goods and railway equipments and materials are exempted. Next, a lot of things have been striked off. Waterways and airways, all of that were exempted to some extent. Now that is completely gone out. Railways and waterways is all taxable. Okay. Sorry, waterways and airways. When you transportation of goods through water is exempted, and transportation of goods through aeroplane is also taxable. Sorry, I said exempted. Both of these are taxable. Water and airways is striked off, which means water and airways are taxable. Yeah, relief materials you have understood, and random goods you have understood. So, So those was on transportation services. See, in your material, if you see study material, it is all scattered in various places, given in various table format and things. But how do you link it? That's the reason this handwritten notes is all linking all the exemption at one place. So that's why this will be very helpful for you. And at the end of the session, I will upload this so you can definitely use it. Passenger transportation service, some clarification which is relevant for us. GST on buses which is used by corporates, right? जैसे कंपनीज हैं, कुछ कंपनीज क्या करती है, उनके खुद के बस नहीं रहते फॉर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ देयर एम्प्लॉइज, they will take the services of another bus vendor. So is it exempt? They've said that the exemption would apply to passenger transport services by non-air conditioned contract carriages where transportation takes place over predetermined route on a predetermined schedule. They say we had seen a exemption is available for a contract carriage. So you have told that this is, you have agreed with the transportation company saying that you have to pick up the employees from specified points. So it's a contract carriage. So if it is a contract carriage, then it is exempted. But the exemption shall not be applicable where a contract carriage is hired for a period of time. It is hired for 1 month's time, 2 months' time, during which the contract carriage is at disposal of the service recipient, which means that you are appointing a bus company for 2 months. Some employees you can transport, somebody else you can transport, whatever it is, it's at your disposal. Then it is not a contract carriage. The exemption what the government wants to give is for a contract carriage only. That is, आप specified point से pick up करके देते हो passengers को, employees को, तब exempted होगा, वरना नहीं. Can you tell me how studied this subject? I watch lectures and write some notes. Then other than that, yeah. So you write these notes, definitely helpful so that you will remember it and work out the problems and go through the previous year question papers. So you will understand how to write it, how to present it. That will be very helpful. Courier service by Amazon, Flipkart is exempted or taxable. Courier service is all taxable. Courier service by any e-commerce. Now, though, the recent for 3rd September, wherein they have brought some amendments, they want to bring the amendments in rate reduction and things. There, they've said for courier for any kind of e-commerce operators, it will be given a special rate, and you will see that they will charge extra now. So now it is taxable, but for going forward, it will increase it. The rate will increase. Okay, understood this clarification? Okay. Let's go to the next exemption, which is right of admission. So when you go to any events, they will collect the entry charges, ticket charges, whatever you call it name. The objective is to get entry into some place, right? Now that entry into that place, is it taxable or exempted? If you visit any museum or a national park or a wildlife sanctuary or a tiger reserve or a zoo, wherein it is preservation of those animals and museum is open to everybody, so it will be exempted. Okay. So museum, national park, wildlife sanctuary, tiger reserve, and zoo, all of this is exempted for any value. But generally, they charge very less itself, but it will be completely exempted. Then if you go to protected monuments, there in some places you'll go like Taj Mahal and things like that. They are all protected monuments, wherein they say that ancient sites and archaeological sites and remote act or state act. So there is an act under which they get this special recognition. There also, it is exempted for any value. Okay. Bivi ka Maqbara, Qutub Minar, all of these are protected monuments. Wherever you go there, it is all exempted. Government stadium hired by cricket board are not exempt. We'll come to that. Yes, it is not exempted. We'll come to that. So entry for these places are exempted. Fully taxable for any water park, theme park, exhibition, film city, amusement park, and cinema hall. These are all completely taxable. Okay, because these are all for entertainment purposes, not for educational purposes, something like that. They say zoo and museums are educational purposes. Ancient sites and archaeological are kind of imbibing the culture. That's why they are exempted. But any water park, theme park, exhibition, film city, amusement park, cinema hall is all taxable. Then any circus, dance, and theatrical performance, okay, will be exempt if consideration is up to 500 rupees. So यहाँ पे तो कुछ limit नहीं है in the first part, but in the second part there is a limit. It says that यहाँ पे there is no limit. Any value it is exempt. But here for these places there is a limit. Circus, dance, theatrical performance, including drama and ballet. This will be exempted if consideration is up to 500 rupees. Award function, concert, pageant, musical performance, or any sporting events other than recognized sporting events is all taxable. जैसे आपका IPL है, it is completely taxable. So if you have entry for recognized sporting events, जैसे Ranji Trophy, right? Anything like that, it is recognized sporting event, then it will be exempted. But IPL is not recognized, so it will be taxable. Then recognized sporting event, anything like this, other than RSC and recognized sporting event, both if the value is up to 500, then exempted. And planetarium also. What is planetarium? Where they show you the solar system, the moons, suns, how it operates. That is a planetarium. वहां पर भी, if it is up to 500 rupees, it is exempted. Everything else will be taxable. Okay, that is the entry thing. Now, the person who's performing there, will he will collect from the organizers. Okay, so artist will perform, right, at any place, say like circus, dance, and he's charging something. Okay, will he charge GST to the organizers? Yes, he will charge. If it is folk or classical art form of music, dance, and theater, then it is exempted. Up to what value? Up to 1.5 lakhs. If he's charging 1.5 lakhs for one performance, then it is exempted. But if he is doing that activity for Bollywood songs, any value, it will be taxable. Or as a brand ambassador, then also it will be taxable. So if you do any kind of performance and you're charging 1.5 lakhs, below 1.5 lakhs, it is exempted. But above that, it will be taxable. And exclusion is if you are doing a brand ambassador project or a Bollywood, okay, then it will be taxable any value. There 1.5 lakhs will not apply. Clear? Government stadium hired by cricket board for IPL are not exempt. No, IPL entry will be taxable. And this folk event also need to happen in India. Folk or classical art form of music, not necessary. It can happen anywhere. One 1.5 lakh is annual limit? No. 1.5 lakh is each performance. For each performance, you're a performer, you will not charge on an annual basis. For each performance, you will charge. So each performance is what we have to consider. For one performance, you have charged 1 lakh, exempted. For another performance, you have charged 1.6 lakhs. That 1.6 lakhs will be taxable. Yes, yes, Ranji Trophy is recognized, but IPL is not recognized. International cricket matches and Olympic games are taxable. Yeah, they will be exempted because they will be conducted by recognized sporting authority, RSC. Where they are representing some state, district, or country. But in IPL, they're not representing any state. I mean, there is a state name, but it is a mixture of everything. So it is not a recognized sporting event. Movie tickets are taxable and IPL tickets are taxable. Correct. Both are taxable. Service provided by cooperative banks are not taxable. What service will cooperative banks provide? They only give us interest, right? But some cooperative banks or any banks, they will provide services like DD charges and things, right? That will be taxable. Even if it is cooperative society, it will be taxable. Yeah, any banking service they provide, it will be taxable. Comedy show tickets or Kavi Semmillions are all taxable because it's not coming under this exemption categories. Textile fair organized by government is taxable or exempt. Textile fairs, entry ticket for fairs, it is clearly mentioned that if any fairs you are organizing, okay, only this will be exempted. So all of that will be taxable. Textile fair. If it is free, then no question of GST. GST will come only if there is a consideration. If there's no consideration, no GST. So if you provide some services to me and you don't charge me anything, so GST is on a consideration. If there is no consideration, no GST. Yeah. Any more questions? Housing Finance Corporation providing construction of housing services. So it is not under PMAY scheme. If it is under PMAY scheme or Awas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or Housing for All schemes, then it will be exempted. But HFC, Housing Finance Corporation, providing construction will be taxable, like a normal thing itself. We have here a land font. The tickets are taxable. What is that? Lakefront. Okay. Lakefront garden type. Taxable. जीएसटी से इंडिया में क्या क्या बेनिफिट्स है और जीएसटी क्यों? ओके, that is a generic question. Yeah, lakefront will all be taxable. Now, Ms. Shika Manu, Ms. Swati, do you want to take up the session now?
Yes. Thank you, Deepak. And yeah. So, students, as we have already posted in the intermediate LVC group, that today we are going to take the GST Titan quiz with you, and we will cover up the exemptions till Deepak sir has covered by today's class, right? I think few exemptions are left, and we will try. We Board of Studies will try that. We will hold a GST Titan quiz in the next session as well, but that I cannot promise. I will try to my best level. But yes, obviously, I know because students, the concepts which sir taught you, they get revised and the concepts get strengthened in your mind by GST Titan quiz. And it really helps you in understanding the concepts and, application of concepts, whether you are able to understand them and apply them correctly. That helps you in the examination also. So that's why we have planned GST Titan quiz for you for the exemptions which sir has taught you in the previous class and in today's class. Till that point, we will cover the exemptions. And so I hope all the students are ready. You can give me the message in the chat box. Good evening, Deepika. So shall we start? And yes, Before we start, let me just go share with you the brief introduction about exemptions, the importance of exemptions in GST, why we have exemptions in GST, and as sir has already taught you, but we will understand through a small brief clipping as well. See, exemptions under GST, they act as a silver lining. They act as a silver lining in the GST framework because exemptions helps in easing the burden. They help you in meeting the various objectives of government like social welfare, public interest, maintaining equity, and helping the small sector. So all these objectives are met by the government through exemptions, through a notification where we give various goods and services under, where we put different goods and services under exemption. So, in nutshell, we can say that taxation is not just about the revenue. It is not just about the revenue, my friends. It is but also about the public welfare. So, public welfare is also of paramount importance for government. It is not GST or tax, any amount, any tax. It is not only about collecting. It is not only about revenue generation or fitting the pockets of the taxpayers. It is also about maintaining public welfare, public infrastructure, equity, and everything, easing the burden, right? So we can say that GST basically it acts as a relief cushion to the taxpayers. It helps you in lowering the rate, lowering the burden in case of essential and merit goods, making them accessible making them accessible for the public at large. We have got many comments. Yes, Aditya is saying ready, ma'am. We are ready for the okay. Good to know. Good evening. Good evening, Santosh. So, let me share with you a brief clipping.
मैम इसमें वॉइस नहीं आ रही।
आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
मैम जब आप स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहे हैं ना तो वहां पे शेयर साउंड का ऑप्शन आ रहा होगा। एक बार बंद कीजिए स्क्रीन शेयर को।
ये
स्क्रीन शेयर बंद कीजिए। या मैम अब स्क्रीन शेयर कीजिए, लेकिन फाइल सेलेक्ट करेंगे ना तो वहां पे शेयर साउंड का एक ऑप्शन भी आ रहा होगा।
किस चीज का?
शेयर साउंड। शेयर साउंड।
ओके 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 ओके।
For GST is often called the game changer in India's indirect tax system, aiming for one nation, one tax, one market. But as the saying goes, one size doesn't fit all. Not every good or service is taxed. Some are granted exemptions to strike the right balance between revenue collection and public welfare. What is an exemption? In simple words, an exemption is a get-out-of-tax card. Supplies that would normally attract GST but are spared through government notifications. It's like being allowed to skip the queue while others still need a ticket. Why are exemptions a big deal? The significance of exemption shines in several ways. One, social welfare services like healthcare, education are tax-free to keep them within everyone's reach. 2, since farming sustains millions, exemptions on produce and farm services ensure that farmers aren't taxed into hardship and food stays affordable. Why students should care? For a GST learner, exemptions are not just a list to mug up. They affect input tax credit, ITC eligibility, compliance requirements, and even pricing decisions of businesses. Exemptions reveal how tax law aims to be not just a revenue tool, but also a policy instrument for fairness and growth. To wrap up, exemptions in GST are the safety valves of the system, softening the blow, supporting key sectors, and keeping life affordable. For students, Understanding the spirit behind the exemptions makes GST less of a dry subject and more of a window into real-world policymaking.
So, I hope that you have understood the concept well by this brief clipping. You may share your feedback in the chat box. See, very important point as I have tried to highlight in this video also, that GST is not a list to mug up for students, right? If you understand the intention behind introducing something in the law, if you understand the intent behind any provision, you will be able to appreciate the policy making by the government. So GST, some students might feel that, ma'am, it's very difficult to mug up all the entries number of notification number 12/17, CTR dated 28th June 2017. But you did not mug up. Please understand the exemptions. Please understand the industry. Why the same has been included in the exemption notification. If you will understand the intent, if you will understand the objective, you will be able to understand it and appreciate the provisions. And in that manner, you will be able to retain it automatically. Right? So I hope that you have understood the things by now. Right? Let us start with our GST Titan quiz. I hope that by now you just have revised the importance of the concepts, provisions of the exemptions. So let's start with the GST Titan quiz now. So students, I hope you may join you would have a login to the quiz app, joinmyquiz.com, and
Ma'am, first stop the screen share of the video. Yeah. Now share the screen again.
okay. Please enter through the joining code 045076. I repeat, the joining code is 045076. And please let us know through the chat box that you have joined. You may also scan this code, joinmyquiz.com. This is the code 045076. Santosh is asking about the link. You may scan this QR code if this screen is available to you. Deepika has joined. Prerna has also joined. Any query or any doubt you are facing in joining, you may let me know. Ajit, is everything fine? Hope students would be able to join.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. That's what the students require, the joining code and this link.
No. Student can see the code and also join through the barcode.
Okay. Code is I repeat 045076. Kuldeep is not able to do. Please tell me, Kuldeep. Kuldeep, you can also join through your mobile if you don't have any other separate device. Muthu Lakshmi had joined. Good. I want that all of you join because then only you will be able to appreciate the application of concepts. Kuldeep has joined. Prajapati has also joined. So shall we start or do you need 1 or 2 minutes more? Shall we start? Anubhav is saying start. Okay, I hope that majority of you have joined, and all those who have not, please join as soon as possible. The joining code is 045076. Shall I start? Please let me know through the chat box. Okay. Okay, I have got lot of messages. Deepika, Aditya, Mustafa, Kuldeep. Okay. Okay, so I'm starting. And this is the quiz number 1. The time starts now. ABC Trust, Charitable Trust, registered under Section 12A of the Income Tax Act, registered under GST. It provided coaching for cricket players, yoga training to medalists, and skill development services to person over the residing in the month of June. So ABC Trust is liable to pay GST on skill development services and yoga training. B. Skill development services. C. Coaching for cricket, yoga training and skill development services. And D. Coaching for cricket and yoga. You may also share your answer in the chat box, but please share me individually and also give a brief reasoning on it. So the time is over and we have the leaderboard with us. And at the top of the leaderboard, we have Deepika, followed by Khushi Singhi, then Shamli, Theosmi, Komal Yadav, Namrata, and Aditika. Okay. So let us see who all students have given the correct answer. Correct answer is only given by 15 students. May I know your answer? May I know the reason behind your answer? You may give very briefly in the chat box. See, in this case, the correct answer is option B. And that has been given only by 15 students. Very good, Shamli. You have given the correct answer. Reasoning, skill development services, they are exempt only if provided to a person residing in rural areas. See, in our question, ABC Trust, although it is registered under Section 12AB, it comes under the Charitable Trust, but it provides training to skill development over the age of 65 years. That is okay, but residing in a metro city. And the exemption is applicable only to the persons over the age of 65 years residing in a rural area. See, this is exempt wide entry 1 of exemption notification number 12 by 17 CTR dated 28th June 2017. But my dear friends, you are not expected to memorize the entry number. Why I am quoting with you an entry number here? The reason behind is that so that you can correlate. After this session is over, you can open up the study material. You can just control F entry number 1 and you can study the related provisions. Right. So entry number 1 basically services by an entity registered under section 12AA or 12AB of the Income Tax Act by way of charitable activities. And charitable activities, there are many activities which are covered under this definition, charitable activities. And as regards skill development services is concerned, it is exempt for the person over the age of 65 years but residing in a rural area. And then let us see why this. Only option B, ABC Trust is liable to pay GST only in case of skill development services. Now your question might arise, why ma'am A, C, D are the incorrect answer, basically in this case these are exempt. See, yoga training is exempt. Yoga training is exempt because arranging yoga and meditation camp, it comes under the advancement of religion, spirituality or yoga. So it is also exempt by entry 1. And coaching for cricket and yoga training. See, coaching activities are covered in entry 80. It specifies services by way of training or coaching inter alia in sports by charitable entities. And sports cover all these activities, like as you know that the cricket is a sports activity. So it is exempt by entry 80. So, fourth option, in this case, it is exempt because coaching for cricket is exempt and yoga training is exempt. C is also exempt, coaching is exempt, yoga is exempt, but skill development services is taxable. So, it is not a correct option altogether. Option A, yoga training is exempt. So, option A is also not correct and option B is correct. May I read the chat box? Yes. Okay, Harsh, I have, minimized the volume of the sound. I hope now it will not. Savi has asked, ma'am, are we required to learn the circular numbers? No, Kairavi Gupta. Circular numbers, notification numbers, you are not expected to memorize at intermediate level. Also, we suggest to the students, it is always better not to quote than to misquote any section number also. So you quote the section number only when you are 100% sure. Otherwise, it is always better not to quote, because if you misquote, there are chances that you will end up in losing marks. It is better if you are not sure. I tell you a simple and foolproof way of writing the answers. You may write as per the relevant provisions of the GST law. Right? This is a safer way to answering the questions. Any other doubt, students? Ashilesh, now sound is coming when question appear. Can it be possible to mute? Okay, now I will mute it. Okay, it is clear to you. So now let's move to the next question. Next question is on your screen. Which of the following services relating to agriculture are not exempt from GST? Option A, loading, unloading, packing and storage or warehousing of rice. Option B, milling of paddy into rice. Option C, agricultural extension services. And option D, renting of agro machinery. Only 25 seconds are left with you. So hurry up. Last 5 seconds, I will say. And the time is over. So now on the leaderboard, Khushi has replaced Deepika. But rank 2 is Deepika. C, third rank, Shamli. Fourth rank, Yosemi. Fifth, Namrata. Sixth, Adi Khan. Seventh is that person has not shared the name. So all these are the top 5 candidates, please. So all other students also, you please participate and expect your number. You can be at the leaderboard, top of the leaderboard at the end. So do not lose any hope. So in this case, the correct answer is, the question was, which of the following services relating to agriculture are not exempt from GST? Which of the following services are not exempt from GST? You may So 19 students have given us the correct answer. 26 have given the incorrect answer, which is also a large number. So students, I do not expect that, this is agriculture service. This is very important and I think very easy also to understand, to retain. So even in this such an easy question, lot of students have given the incorrect answer. I am very disappointed to see this result. Now let us understand each and every alternative MCQ with the reason. Loading, unloading, packing, storage or warehousing of rice. Whether it is taxable or exempt, it is taxable. Sorry, it is exempt. It is exempt by the specific entry number 24. Once again, I am telling you that I am quoting this entry number so that you are able to relate it. You can write, in your notes as of now, so that after this session is over, you can open up the study material and see the relevant entry. Entry number 24 specifically exempt services by way of loading, unloading, packing, storage, or warehousing of rice. So this is exempt. Entry number B, milling of paddy into rice. It is taxable service. Why? Because processing of paddy into rice is not usually carried out by cultivators. It is by rice millers and it changes the essential characteristics. So milling of paddy into rice cannot be considered as an intermediate production process. So it is not eligible for exemption. Very good, Mustafa. Your reason is also correct. Then moving to agricultural extension services. This has been specifically exempt agricultural extension services. You may refer entry number 54. Right. Then renting of agro machinery. This is also exempt by entry number 54. It says services relating to cultivation of lands and dash. And clause G says renting or leasing of agro machinery. So this is the reason only alternative B. B option is the taxable. Milling of paddy into rice is taxable and all other options are exempt. So shall we move to the next question? Is this clear with all of you? Please share your feedback. Is this clear? Shall we move to the next question? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now, please do not repeat this mistake in the examination, okay? So, next question is on your screen. And your time starts now. Which of the following educational services are not exempt from GST? Option A, G Mains entrance exam conducted by National Testing Agency. Option B, long duration programs 2 years conducted by IIM. See, please mute yourself, all the students. Option C, coaching for preparation of UPSC entrance examination provided by Perfect Coaching Class. Option D, catering service provided to Little Angels Public School. You still have 20 seconds left with you. Very important exemption relating to education sector. Education sector, as we know, it is very essential sector. Governed by entry number 66. So we have leaderboard with us. Khushi is again at the top of the leaderboard. followed by Deepika. It seems that I am reading the previous questions leaderboard because all the candidates are same. Third rank, Shamli. Fourth rank, Yusrami. Fifth rank, Adil Khan. 6045076. Please mention your name. Seventh is Steffi. And the correct answer in this case is option C. And very good that 28 students have given the correct answer and 16 have given the incorrect answer. So we can see that I think 44 students have participated. Please, other students also. Maybe next time I will try to take up this quiz. So please be ready with your device, another device. And if you will participate, you will learn more. And if you will learn more, you will, even if you will commit mistake, that doesn't matter. Because, you know, participation is very important. Don't get fear even if you commit mistake. That is nothing to fear, right? So let us understand the reason, then that you will be able to appreciate it better. Option A, G mains entrance exam conducted by National Testing Agency. See, if you have this edition, if you have the edition October 2024 of study material, I am quoting you the exact page number where you can go through the same. You will understand why each and every alternative is correct or why everything is incorrect. This edition is relevant for May 25, September 25, January 26 examination. See, it says conduct of entrance examination by specified body set up by central government or state government. It is exempt. And where National Testing Agency is one of the specified agencies, provide central or state government. That is why G mains entrance exam conducted by National Testing Agency is exempt under GST. Now coming to the option B, long duration programs, 2 years conducted by IIMs. See, IIM provides various long duration courses, and but for which they award diploma or degree certificates duly recommended by Board of Governors as per their relevant acts, IIM Act. That is why this is exempt under GST White entry number 66. Entry number 66 relates to the educational services, and if we get a certificate formal certificate, then that is covered. That is basically exempt under GST. If we get any qualification recognized by any law, then that is exempt. Then option C, coaching for preparation of UPSC entrance exam provided by Perfect Coaching Class. Very good. 28 students have correctly replied that this is not exempt from GST. Now, what is the reason? The reason is because they provide the certificate. It's coaching for preparation of UPSC entrance examination. It is provided by a private coaching class. So, provide the education provided by a private coaching class, which does not provide any. This does not provide any qualification recognized by law. That is why this is taxable under GST. Then option D, catering services provided to Little Angels Public School. As if you will read the entry number 66, then clause second says that catering, including any midday meal scheme sponsored by central government, state government or union territory, that is exempt from GST. So, Little Angels Public School gets covered under an educational institution because basically it gets covered because it is a higher secondary school, preschool education and education up to higher secondary school are equivalent. They are covered under the definition of educational institution, and catering services specifically exempt wide entry number 66. So I hope that I am clear. All the students have understood. They have revised this educational services exemption relating to educational services. Shall we move to the next question? Very good. Mustafa, Mr. Mustafa is saying, if I make mistake here, then I will not make mistake in examination because I say wrong here and corrected it. It always stay with me. Yes, this is the point which I am telling to share with you. See, please understand from your friends' perception that if you will commit mistake at this platform, then this is for sure that you are not going to repeat it in the examination. Because, when we commit a mistake at any point of time, we tend to remember it for a longer period of time, that this is the point where we committed mistake. Mr. Anubhav saying next, please. Kuldeep, if the school is not public, Deepika, clear, ma'am. See, educational institution, it covers. What does it mean? It means an institution providing services by way of preschool education. It does not say private school or public school. What does it say is preschool education and education up to higher secondary school or equivalent. Second point, education is a part of a curriculum for obtaining a qualification recognized by any law for the time being in force. Third, education is a part of approved vocational education course. So point number 1 talks about preschool education. Preschool education, it does not say public preschool or private preschool, but preschool education and education up to higher secondary school or equivalent are covered. I hope that this concept is clear to you. Let us move to the next question. Next question is on your screen. Another important service sector, health services. I am reading the question with you. Which of the following services provided by Healthy Wealthy Nursing Home are not exempt from GST? Option A, renting of rooms with per day charges of ₹6,000 to inpatients. Option B, food supply to inpatients. Option C, healing of patients through naturopathy. And option D, services provided in intensive care unit for which ₹12,000 are charged per day. And these 22 seconds are left with you. So hurry up. And the time is over. And on the leaderboard, top of the leaderboard, we have Khushi Singhi with us. Give a big round of applause to Khushi. Followed by Deepika, then Shamil. Rank 4, very good, you have quoted your name, Thyasumi S. Rank 5, Jaya. And we have come out of the leaderboard. So let us see the correct answer now. Very good. I am happy to see that this question is, large number of students have given the correct response to this question. This means this healthcare service is clear to you. See, if you are you able to correlate these questions, correlate the exemptions with the clip which I showed to you? That clip also, emphasize the importance of various sectors like education, healthcare, which, comes under the umbrella of public welfare. So that is why, this is the reason why exemption is provided to these important sectors, right? So this is, that's what this clip says, that if you will understand the intention behind the lawmaker, why any particular sector is covered, you will be able to understand the concepts in a better manner. So, yes, the correct answer is option 1. Now let us see why renting of rooms with per day charges of ₹6,000 to inpatients. Where does it cover? It is covered in entry number 46. Entry number 46 is our healthcare services. So healthcare services, in that case, there is a limit that rent of rooms having charges up to ₹5,000 per day to a person receiving healthcare services in a hospital is exempt. Here charges are ₹6,000. That is why the same is taxable. Students, one thing I would like to highlight, that please read the question very carefully. Here it is saying services which are not exempt. Sometimes during examination pressure or what that we tend to read the question very fast. Sometimes we tend to ignore the word no. And we know the provisions, we know all the alternatives, and we end up in writing the wrong answers. So please read the question very carefully. Here, not exempt means taxable is asked. And here the room rent exceeds the tariff threshold limit, so it is taxable. Then food supply to inpatients. See, food supply to inpatient as advised by doctor or nutrition, it is a part of composite supply of healthcare. That is why it is not separately taxable and it is exempt from GST. Then coming to the option C, healing of patients through naturopathy. See, naturopathy, it is one of the recognized system of medicines in India. That is why it is exempt. And the next last entry, services provided in ICU, for which 12,000 are charged per day. See, we do not have any threshold limit for ICU. That is why the same is exempt from GST. I hope that you have thoroughly revised the healthcare services also. Shall we move to the next quiz? And next question will decide who is the, who is at the top of the leaderboard, who is who is the leader of this today's Titan quiz. Because sir has, we will cover the quizzes only till the point sir has, Mr. Deepak, CA Deepak sir has covered the topics till now. And so quiz 5 will be the last quiz for you. And I will try, I am saying again, if I will not able to take up the quizzes in the next session, I will try to cover up in the Saturday session, right? But you keep yourself ready so that we are able to revise the remaining exemptions which sir will take to you in the next session. After this topic is over. So next question, shall we move to the next question? The next question, your screen is, which will determine the leader of the day. Which of the following services are not exempt from GST? Option A, services of transportation of employees in air-conditioned vans for pickup and drop over predetermined route on a predetermined schedule. Option B, transportation of passengers by railways in sleeper class. C, transportation of passengers in auto rickshaw. D, transportation of passengers by air in economy class from Delhi to Manipur. Just now, Deepak sir has it today only. This concept has been taught to you, and you still have 25 seconds left with you. Transportation services, very beautiful. He has explained to you with a very beautiful chart. So the students have mentioned that these concepts are clear to you, good to know. And we have the leaderboard with us. Congratulations a lot. Deepika is the winner of today's GST Titan quiz. Rank 2 is won by Khushi Singhi. And third rank, Shamli, hats off to you. Very good. Keep it up. Rank 4, Thiasumi. Rank 5, Adil Khan. Rank 6, 045076. Rank 7 is backed by Steffi. Very good. Keep your momentum high. Keep it up. Just be there. Be like this only. Understand the concepts simultaneously. Congratulations to the winners. Yes, all the students. One student is asking us what are all other ranks. See, as of now, I am able to see these top 7. But all the students who have participated, whether they are on the top or not, that doesn't matter much. Yes, you all are winners in yourself, right? Because you all are winners. Why you are winners? Because even if you are not at the top of the list in this GST Titan quiz, you might be at the top in the real examination, right? As one of the students has rightly quoted that if you commit mistake at this platform, chances, even in fact, I will not use the word chances, it is sure that you will not commit mistake in the examination. So those students who are not there in this leaderboard list, they will be there in the real examination, right? So all the students have the equal chances and all of you are winner because all of you have participated. So congratulations to all of you. Okay, Mr. Linga, I hope that I expect that you will be at the top in the examinations, right? Let's understand what is the correct answer. Transportation services, and the correct answer is yes, option 1. And it is given by 25 students. Thank you. Okay. Option 1 is the correct answer. Now let us understand why this option is the correct answer. See, services of transportation of employees in air-conditioned vans question asks about not exempt, right? For pickup and drop on a predetermined schedule, it is taxable by clause B of entry number 15. It says non-air condition contract carries are exempt, and here the contract carries is air condition. That is why it is taxable. It is not exempt. Option B, transportation of passengers by railways in sleeper class. By railways in sleeper class, it is exempt by entry number 17. You may note down in your notebook entry number 17. It says that railways in a class other than first class or air conditioned coach are exempt from GST. And when we say other than, it means that first class or air conditioned are taxable, and other than these two are exempt from GST. Option C, transportation of passengers in auto rickshaw. It is again entry number 17 of clause E. Metered cabs or auto rickshaw, these are exempt in case of transportation of passengers. Option D is transportation of passengers by air in economy class from Delhi to Manipur. This is also exempt by entry 15. As sir has also told you that transportation of passengers with or without accompanying class by air in economy class embarking from or terminating. Please keep this in mind. Journey might start from here or it may end here in these specified states. That is Batman, which he has clearly very beautifully he has described. Batman, it is easy to retain also. Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, and Bagdogra. Right. So I hope that this passenger transportation service is clear to you. Let me read the comments. Manipur is exempt. Very good, Mustafa. You are very good, Kuldeep. This is the spirit. Special congratulations to toppers and applause to all the participants. Very good. Anubhav saying thank you. Ma'am, very, very enjoyed quiz, helping me to remember provision and also helping to MCQ. Thank you, ma'am, and happy late Teachers Day. Thank you. See, students, please, may I request all of you to please spare 2 minutes and share your feedback in the feedback form. Because, you know, it is good that you simultaneously share your feedback in the chat box. But the feedback which you share in the feedback form, that goes a long way. And it also helps us in, assessing ourselves. We also, need to analyze ourselves by, which practice we should follow so to make students learn. Are these type of the type of videos which I have, small videos which I have formed for you, is this helpful for you? It makes you interesting, and this quiz contest. So please spare 2 minutes and share your feedback in the feedback form. And also let me know through the chat box after, so that whether you have filled the feedback form or not. Doesn't matter, Mr. Harsh. You did 2 wrong out of 5, but still you have, 2-3 services have been explained to you in today's class only, the transportation services. I, deliberately took up this exemption because so that these points get registered in your mind. You are able to understand them better. You are able to retain them better and apply the concepts. Doesn't matter. Very good that you have participated at least. Very good. Yes, Kuldeep, you took time to grasp and understand. That is what is required. Only because of not exempt, I confused. That's why I focus on this point, Mr. Harsh, that you have to read the question very carefully in the MCQs. Sometimes we know the answers, we know the concepts, but still we lose marks just because we do not pay attention to these, key points, not exempt, not taxable, what is required from the question. The requirement of the question should be very clear to you. So please spare the time and fill the feedback form, and let me know through the chat box after you have filled the feedback form. Thank you, Deepika. Happy Teachers Day. Thank you. Yes, congrats to everyone who participated in the quiz. This is the way each one of you should, should encourage your colleagues, your friends. This is the way. Very good. So how many of you have shared the feedback? Fill the feedback form. Thank you, Prajapati. Thank you, Kuldeep. Yes, I remember entry number. I remember notification, full notification 12 by 17 CTR dated 28th June 2017. Viva Shah's notification number 13 by 17 CTR dated 28/17. But that we do not expect from students. You might remember, but quote only when you are fully sure. And it is advisable not to spend time and energy in memorizing the notification of circulars number. You understand the concept that is required from you. Okay. So in the next session, sir will take up the remaining exemptions, and I will try. I can't promise because due to a lot of work going on, because examinations are also starting. But I will try to take GST Titan piece for all the remaining exemptions also. If not, I could not take on Thursday, then I will try to take on the weekend. Right? So be there. And I hope that you have filled the feedback form because it helps us in knowing the strategy, knowing the methodology, the way you understand better, because we at Board of Studies, we are there for your service only. We are able to understand the needs of the student, how you people understand, because there only we spend time. Thank you, Harsh. This item piece really helps a lot of clarity. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Participation piece, feeling happy. Thank you. Thank you, students. Thank you to all of you who participated. Thank you, Prerna, for filling the feedback form. Thank you. So without taking much time, let us end the session. Thank you all the students. Thank you the participants. Thank you, Mr. Ajit. Thank you the technical team. And good night to all of you. Let me read the last message. Aditya, ma'am, it helps me how to understand. Thank you. Thank you all the students and good night. We may end up the session. Yes. Thank you everyone. Good night.